Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me Matt. Very free for you all here on Edelbrook Station. I'll leave the map as called. It's a vanilla map from Company Heroes 2. We are playing with victory points by the looks of it, so this should be interesting. Might make the match a little bit shorter or more intense depending on everything. Anyway, let's go through the players. Represent the allies, the Western allies today actually. We have Ace Kenway as Royal Guard Regiment straight out the gate with Anvil specialization. We have FX 552 as Mechanized Company for the United States. And we have Before Eagle, also as Royal Guard Regiment with Anvil specialization. Double Royal Guard, okay. Representing the Germans today, we have Smokey as Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht. We have A Toaster as Staffdivision for the Wehrmacht. Finally, we have Fry 285 as Leichte Division for the Wehrmacht. It should be fascinating to see triple Wehrmacht against Western allies. Not a fight we get to see very often, so it could be very interesting. And with victory points no less. But we have several British tank hunter sections going out early. That's a little bit of an unexpected play, but it looks like it's working out here. The Brits have managed to get inside the building there with their Boys AT rifle. And I managed to take out the Pioneers there pretty reliably. And we have some firefights going on here at the southern flank. The British did get changed after all that their main units are like 4-man now instead of 5-man until they get to the second tier where they can get an extra man on them. That really slows down the British somewhat. Americans though are picking up the slack in the center the best they can. But Germans do have some heavy cover here for the Volksgrenadier. We have some smoke grenade going out here from the Grenadier. Trying to cover themselves as they advance up. We also have a British recon team. Various things here. Looks like the Brits are winning out the long-range engagements down here, though. British troops are pretty good at long-range combat, after all, from cover-to-cover fighting. But none of the victory points have been secured yet, but the Germans are trying to take one of them. Which will start the taking of points. So the British on the northern flank actually don't have any infantry. They only have tank hunters and sappers. Let's got the Universal carry out early. Also more German infantry moving in for the center here. Germans on the southern flank doing their best to hold up. But they are losing men very rapidly to the British rifles. The Royal Fusiliers. There's also some Osttruppen coming up here. A unique low quality infantry available to Ostdivision. Eastern Europeans conscripted to fight for the Nazis. The Second World War. Because they bring a lot of them in to fight against the Western Allies here. The Universal Carrier is having a presence here. The Germans are lacking in AT equipment. We also have some company Indians here from the United States. Supporting the Universal Carrier. Anti-tank rifle goes off though. We also have a pack somewhere. Yep, we have a pack 36 rolling up. He's trying to open fire on the Volksgrenadier here. Lots of fighting going on here at the moment. Companies are going to flank, and looks like immediately the Volksgrenadiers make a run for it, realizing what's about to happen. Will be enough though. Germans are trying to dig in around the center point so they can probably cover it. Firefights looks on the south, just a sheer amount of Osttruppen being pushed in here. Brits have set up a Vickers machine gun though. And that certainly helped them secure this area. Tank hunters moving up here for the Commonwealth. Going some Mills bombs. There's a lack of German infantry to stop them at the moment here. You have a scope gewehr 43 handed out to the Grenadiers. Sandbags are really helping out the tank hunters there. Germans tried to secure the center victory point but failed, but the Germans still have control of the northern one. Ooh, looks like the tank got destroyed by the boys. That boy's AT rifle is really working out in too well for the British, I think. Like, it seems like there's no reason to even get rifle sections. Potentially. We have an MG42 set up here by the Germans, though. Osttruppen are pushing up through the smoke to try and secure the point. As the Americans are securing the center. Excuse me. They might need a second smoke grenade, I think. Yep, and indeed we are seeing a smoke grenade going on again. Covering the Ostruppen further. But the Brits are trying to move in to try and stop them, I think. Nope, they're taking up cover. And throwing a Mills bomb. But the point will be in German hands. Because they've also lost the northern point here to the British as the lieutenant has moved up. The Royal Fusilier Regiment. Oh, University Carrier is flanking down here. MT-42 is not turned to face it though. Oh, he's trying to take out the MT-42 team. Oh, it's changed hands between Ostruppen, killing them. Several units of the Wehrmacht pushing up here with MP-40s now. Not looking good though. Also an Aufklar here for the Wehrmacht out in the open. MP-4 is rushing up. That's a lot of submachine guns mowing down the American riflemen. But there's American machine gun inside the building. MP-4 is doing their best. Bandflasche going over the buildings, hitting straight on the lieutenant. Burning him alive. Other Bandflasche hit the building though. Looks like we have some mechanized American forces coming in. Well, actually that's a motorized force. There's no tracks on it, just wheels. The Universal Carrier has tracks, so let's call it a 50-50. Brits and Americans working together. Very nice to see. Well, looking good for the Germans, so they don't have any of the victory points, and the Allies are going to start to slowly tick away at the Germans' points now. Oh, we have a command car on the field here for the Wehrmacht. Or the Leichte Division. We have several Gewehr 43s being handed out. Our problem is the British still have those tank hunters running around. Can probably take care of that command car pretty handily. We also have a Vickers K emplacement going up here. Vickers K being, oh yeah, well, Vickers K outside the brain carrier. Universal Carrier did not really want to stay on a suppressive fire from the machine gun. Makes sense. So we had several sandbags being laid out here by the Germans as they try to dig in alongside the triage bunker. They can maintain their presence on the front line. We have some smoke artillery being called in here by the command car. The Germans might make a push for the victory point then. Yep, Grenadiers are pushing up. Remember, the shells from the smoke barrage will damage you if you're on top of it. After all, it is a solid shell going in. And try to dig in. Oh, they're laying shoe mines. Very cheeky. Oh, grenade is being thrown here by the Fusiliers. Doesn't detonate the mine though. And they do manage to decapture the point. So we have some folks trying to get up through the flank. We also have Straftrooper now, unique unit available to Staff Division. German penal troopers. Used to be available from the start, now you actually have to get some command points before you can get them, I believe. Ooh, folks gonna get down the street. Germans having issues getting up on the points. Machine gun still hitting down the British on that street though. Giving some good suppressor fire. We have some airdrops going onto the field for the British down here. They get an extra man in because of them being a Royal Guard, which means their rifle section is now 6-man squads, by the way, which is absolutely ridiculous in such a good squad. That's the thing you get for playing Royal Guard, basically. I believe it's Royal Guard Anvil that gets it. Yeah, I think it's Anvil that only gets the extra man. With the upgrade from Tier 2, you basically get 6-man Fusiliers, or 6-man rifle sections, which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. They're really good. Lots of firefighting going on along the front line. Germans have managed to secure one of the points, but that will only slow the bleed, not stop it. Flammenwerfer being handed out to the Volksgrenadier. Flammenwerfer 35. Probably a very good choice in this kind of urban environment. Or two ripping into the British there. Doing a pretty good job of it. MP40s also hand out to some of the Volksgrenadiers down here. AT gun also for the British. We have a bazooka team here for the mechanized Americans. We have some artillery strikes going in on the Vickers K position. It already has lost its gunner, by the way. Ooh, Volksgrenadiers are being mowed down now by the BARs and such. But the bunker is not able to... Oh, it's self-repairing. Right, I forgot the British can do that. There's a pack, though, be able to shoot down the street. But it doesn't have a gunner for a long while. We also have the Kettenhund in the field, German military police. Available to Staff Division. This is a secondary command team, I believe, and they're also pretty damn good at holding a line. Must be they buff Straftuppen? Like we saw the buff there briefly on their portrait down here. So they buff Straftuppen when they're close to them. Which makes sense. Yeah, we can see that. That's actually a fairly decent buff. Which would make sense. The Straftuppen are probably very scared of the military police, the Kettenhunde. Also an MD42 here for the Leica Division. Its unique model. Well, they used the sniper model. It's not really unique, but you get what I mean. It'll be a lot better in Combat Heroes 3 when modders can actually mix and match uniforms and assets from the different units. That can lead to a lot of unique infantry models after all. When Combat Heroes 3 is out, of course. In February is the current planned date, I believe. Ooh, MG42 is trying to be grabbed here, but they are getting mowed down as they try to attempt it. There's just too much British firepower coming their way. Oh, Volksgrenadiers out. Not Volksgrenadiers, Ostrup down the open. Get great on him though. Doesn't do too much. It might be enough to force the British off. Yeah, it looks like the British are running off. The Germans are not having an easy time. We do have some Panzergrenadiers coming onto the way soon. This command car is actually doing a pretty decent job with the support abilities. Artillery going in here. Germans are making good use of their commanders. Ooh, yeah, building on fire, so that's a building denied. That allows the Volksgrenadiers to try and push up. Artillery going in on the German positions down here. Only hits the pack team a bit. And then you also have the Panzergrenadiers on the field now. You equip with some scope Sturmgewehrs. Troops and Kettenhund is still moving around. No Panzergrenadiers yet from the Leica Division. Artillery going out here from the Lieutenant. Going towards the building with a machine gun in it. Setting in the blaze, denying it to the Germans. Half track goes down though. Germans attacking up, getting some more equipment. We have a little bit of a mortar fight now going on the southern flank. Around the train tracks.
The fresh officer has arrived. Yes. Scout car awaiting orders.
See. Brits are able to get their gunner back there, and they also set up a mortar pit. Brits are really digging in here, which Royal Guard is really good at doing, so probably the most defensive commander the British have access to. Especially as Anvil. They can really dig in and just hold. Still bleeding the German stride slowly. And they immediately put the mortar pit to counter barrage. They also have an American mortar on a half track. Germans might be able to try and get up there, but they're still being suppressed by the 50 caliber on this scout car. We have more artillery being called in here by the command car. Just normal barrages here. That Vickers K position is still being a problem. And then just down the open street there, that's impossible to march up on because of the machine gun. You need something to obscure it. Germans have managed to decapture the southern victory point, and looks like Panzergrenadiers will capture it, but They might suffer for it. Yeah, that's a very expensive squad to lose. Also mortar shells landing around. 48 has been established here by the Wehrmacht, which will allow them to call the Italians as likely if they want. Oh, looks like the Brits are doing a push here for the victory point. Little smoke shells are going in. Normal steel Granada in there though, didn't wait them much. In return we have a Mills bomb. Actually that's an instant grain, never mind. Germans have captured the southern point still and are holding it. Sabs don't want to stay there when an MD-42 started ripping into them. And I think the Germans will be able to get the point back without any issue. But the Vickers K can actually hit them from there. They have 2 units on the point. Laptop are doing their best to try and secure it. Under fire, as is expected of them, but they do not manage to do it. Artillery going in the point. Just normal artillery by the looks of it. Smoke grenades going in though, so the Germans gonna go for another attempt. Ooh, Captain almost killed by a mortar shell. We have a light infantry gun arriving here. Also heavy mortar here, unique to Strafdivision. Basically the copy the Soviet mortar, which the Germans became very fond of. They'll certainly be able to outrange most of the British equipment here. Ooh, yeah, that building is a slaughterhouse to go inside. Indeed, the heavy mortars are already ripping in. Points down German hands. The Allies are going to start losing some points now somewhat. Geos coming onto the field for one of the Germans. We also have a Panzer IV F1 on the field for the Light Division and one for the Ostdivision. Oh, looks like the big hit the southern British flank. They have a pretty decent match going here. Not often I get victory points, especially not with not 3v3 ones. The mortar pits are trying to do their best here. Just applying all the pressure.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
Nothing else is happening yet. Keep an eye around. Luke is on the field now. F1's not moving to engage anything yet. Command car still around, doing its best to hold. We have some Communists trying to push forwards. They got hit by a rifle grenade and then immediately they're running back because of it. You do have an A3 Sherman coming onto the field, unique to Mechanized Commander. It's basically just a better Sherman. Basically all aspects, I think. The F1 is ready to move up around here. Smoke shells going in. Big smoke shells! Not sure who used that though. Looks like it might have been the British. Ooh, Grenadiers are not doing well here. We have a big ally push here with combined British and American forces. There's an MG-42 back here. F1 needs to get moving. Stuka is ready to drive up through the main street. MGs are ripping into the British as they try to get inside the point. Instant smoke grenades are being thrown. But they're still in the view of one of the machine guns.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And the machine gun is ripping into them. It's reloading though. They've been completely pinned. The British are trying to fall back. Until being called here by the Americans, followed by the A3 Sherman. The Germans are lacking in stuff to fight. The Stuk could potentially beat with it. And if it gets too close, there are always Panzerfausts. So the Royal Air Force is dropping some more supplies here for the southern flank, which has been hammered a bit recently. Stuk is moving up down here the main road. Main street, rather. Taking out the gunner there. Ooh, bazooka missed. Bazooka did not penetrate. That's a Gebalderladung. Alright, I believe you can get Gebalderladungs on your Volksgrenadiers if you're playing as Straff. I believe. If so, that's pretty good for them. Also, artillery being used at the moment. Which is supporting the A-Free German. Let me check, where's the Volksgrenadier? Yep, there they are. That is I believe that is a unique upgrade to them if you are playing as Staff. Which is a pretty big deal if you can just keep your Volksgrenadiers like the Balderladungs. Panzerfaust. Ooh, did not destroy the bunker though. It has been hardened and with improved defenses. F1 is pushing on the southern flank here. That's a lack of British AT equipment. But it has been hurt by something. The AT gun. They managed to grab the AT gun here. Another Gebalderladung going out. They took out the crew again. Looking good for this F1. He's doing a pretty good job. The northern flank looks like this Sherman got taken out. Oh wait. Something else. It was an armored car. F1 keeps doing its best down here. Doing a good job. Oh, we also have a British heavy mortar. I forgot that the Royal Guard gets this too. So they can actually counter the German heavy mortar. We also have some Sturm Grenadiers here, unique to Ostdivision. One of the Ostdivision unique units. Armored MP4s and Gewehr for the freeze at the moment. Very good for assaulting with sustained firepower. Ooh, the British have not been able to hold the southern flank. They might need to relocate some forces. The Americans might need to relocate some supports. Because they're losing a lot of territory all of a sudden. Giving the Germans access to both munitions points would definitely be a big problem. There's a British sniper on the field. But he's under too much fire and he's on the open. That look good for the Allies all of a sudden. They try to push up through here, but they are losing a lot of men trying to attempt it. Ooh, the MP40s are ripping into the Allied infantry. The A-Free Sherman pushing up slowly. And MG42 is probably dead. Yep. Ooh, we had... Oh, good grenade there from the Sturm Grenadiers. Killed a bunch of the Americans. But they might die here to the machine gun. Oh, they get behind the train station. Very nice. But this F1 is in trouble because its engine is damaged. It's very slow at the moment. Bazooka and A-Free will deal with it easily. Yep. There are more Grenadiers moving up. Most of our howitzer being set up here by the Ostdivision. That'll certainly give the Germans the artillery advantage for a while. The Grenadiers have picked a Boy's 80 rifle off the ground. And mortars back in the base. We are seeing a full tech up here for one of them. A man car still around, doing a pretty decent job. We also have a Panzer 8 in the field alongside some Panzer Grenadier. That might help the Germans a bit. And the Brits managed to take this point back somewhat. Without the F1, the southern flank is in somewhat of a pickle at the moment. They're trying to call in some artillery quickly. Risky maneuver while under fire. And with no cover, but they're focusing on the Grenadiers instead. We're trying to set up with a machine gun behind here. They've also been calling here in the German positions. Ooh! This almost destroyed the forward HQ. With A-Free German starting to roll onto the field, that might be a problem in the long run. It's not that the German commanders really have good late game tanks. Well, I suppose like they can get the Panther, but they get the Panther A, which is not really the best variants. They can get the Brumba though from Straff and the Elephant from Ost, which I suppose would work in this kind of situation. Long range firefight going on. The MT42 lost there. We're going to see some more infantry in the field on the southern flank, I feel. Still being healed up. The howitzer is doing its best to counterfire. Germans still not been able to take the center point. But the Allies are still bleeding points. Using 1 point every tick. Never a tick is. I believe a tick is every 3 seconds. Looks that way to me when I look at it up there. Unless I suck at counting. I may suck at counting, guys. And gals. Well, I think it's mostly guys that watch me according to the analytics, but what am I to know?
Combat engineers on the line.
Lots of Shermans around still. But the heavy mortars and the howitzers are definitely starting to take a toll, I think. Use the first firing. Aiming around here by the looks of it. Very wide spreads. Didn't get any kills there, but it did a lot of stunning. Now the Germans get into a position to start firing. And because they're firing now, because they have been suppressed and pinned, they cannot do anything. That's actually really good play there. Very good coordination. And that's why you stun with the rocket artillery before you move in. Rocket artillery is not actually used to get the kills anymore. It's used to stun the enemy so they are forced down to the ground and then you advance. Oh, is that the Black Watch? Oh, that's the Scots Guard. Is that one of the battle groups? Looks like it is. It's the Scots Guard. That's one of the battle groups available to Royal Guard. Of course, we don't have any unique models because that's impossible to do at the moment. Ooh. Ooh, that's a lot of Germans. Scots Guard are pretty good infantry, by the way. Very good behind cover. The Germans are threatening the center point here shortly. Ooh, cover's gone though for the Volksgrenadier. Good shot on the A3. The A3 fires in return. But gets taken out by the Stuk.
A medium tank was just lost.
British also managed to decap to the northern point. There's still too much firepower coming our way. Panzer 48 is in trouble. 40 HQ is down. Panzer needs to be equipped with some Gewehr 43s. Laptop being forced up the main street. They're probably going to want to take out that position again. Going a sideshow charge. That takes it out. Communists might try and go in there on the point. No, nothing yet. He's Panzer is still holding on. Scots Guard trying to make a move for the southern point. There's no machine guns to hold them off. My first grenade being thrown. Ooh, right in the Panzer Grenadiers, almost killing them, but the Germans do take the point. Scots Guard took a big shot from something. Looks like I might need a mortar. Most of our Panzer 48 arriving in the southern flank. Hitting them now overseeing the central front again. There's Sturmgewehrs. Americans still holding on with that machine gun. But the Allies are starting to lose ground. After pushing up here, there's a lack of machine guns on it though. Well, now they're suppressed inside it. Right into a bazooka rocket. Oh yeah, that's not good for the Germans. You don't want to lose Panzer Grenadiers like that. Pack 38 sitting up to cover the main street. Lucas ready for action again. And Germans got a little bit more fortification to hold the southern flank now. 17 pounders could try to be set up though, which is quite an investment. Lucas Mthis hits the center, sets the building ablaze. Denying the Americans their machine gun area.
Emplacement is being attacked.
Most of them pushing with egg grenades. Not looking good for the British Commonwealth. 17 pounder will go up though. No, they can't. They managed to destroy it with the Panzerfaust. Oh, that was pretty good play there. And now they've allowed the MG42 to sit up. I think the Allies have lost the southern flank. Especially with the British 48 HQ now. Now they are in sitting ducks. They're in a very bad position. The allies are gonna need to have to coordinate something. What and how, though? They are playing as well guard, which means they can get Churchills if they can hold on to take up for it. They could get Churchills at some point, but that is a very costly investment at the moment. Ooh, that's a lot of fuel. What's going on? A corner pit is going to be set up to cover the southern flank. Who's trying to drive up the main street? The Suga penetrates, doesn't kill it though. Do see a Broombar coming out soon. Broombear, not sure how you pronounce it. But honestly, the Germans just called it the Stupa, because the Germans never actually used the term Broombar. Oh, good grenade, although we didn't see much of the effects of it. The visual effects. Down here by the Kettenhunde. Ooh, Panzer 4H is now on a rampage in the rear of the Allied lines. There's nothing here to stop it. Allies have lost all their tanks, I think. That is not good. The Allies need to get rid of this Panzer 4 quick. Oh, they do have a bit of Suga on the flank. Got a good one there. That's going to force the Panzer 4 back. Oh, they also managed to get a sticky bomb off. But while this has happened, the Germans have advanced.
We have lost a Panzer.
Stuff was being moved on in the center though. Ooh, and lots of Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers died there. All the infantry for the Light Division is gone. Only have some support teams. German Heavy Mortar keeps doing its best here. Doing a fairly decent job, I think. Ooh, Leutnant is in trouble. Has to pull back quickly. We managed to grab a flamethrower off the United States. So we have triple Irish Guard being called here to replace the losses. Some dedicated assault infantry of the Commonwealth and be able to Royal Guards. Lots of fighting going on here. Just completely destroyed this part of the city. Now we have the Irish Guard coming onto the field. Can actually be equipped entirely with what's it called? With automatic weaponry, which you don't normally see in most British units. Most factions, in all honesty, it's very hard to get a unit that can be armed entirely with automatic weaponry. Oh, we have the Stupa in the center. Firing. It's gonna be very hard for the Allies to deal with the Stupa. Especially frontally. Flying another shell there. Taking out that half track. We have another Panzer 4H driving up here now, ready for the Ostdivision. Oh, and I'm being called. I'll just pause this for a bit. Apologies. My apologies, it was just my mom calling. Apparently I am very popular with my family recently. Let's continue on, shall we? Let's see, we have the Germans still having moving up in their Panzers. I've completely lost track of where we were. Not really in the center point here. Stupa launching a big shot there, lobbing good shots into the Allied positions. And the Allies have lost a lot of ground and they might lose all the victory points here shortly, which will really intensify the bleeder points. Irish Guard have started to arrive though, but I don't think they can do too much here, especially against tanks at range. Tanks, however, are not very accurate against infantry targets. So we're going in the center here. Called in by the American lieutenant. Who's firing again by the looks of it. Oh! Oh! That was decent, doing a lot of good stuns there. And artillery going in behind it. Panzer is trying to move up. Oh, artillery destroys one of the Irish Guards. So the Panzer are moving ahead instead of taking the victory point. Just pushing very far ahead here. We're gonna plan to throw Kabadulatum, yep. This is smoke clears though, so they're under a lot of fire and a lot of stress. Will he make it? And the Panzer Grenadier made it. That's lucky. Germans tightening the noose. We do have a Churchill tank arriving, however. See, the Churchill can make a difference. German 76 also arriving. But the Allied forces are taking a lot of a heavy beating here. Stupefying. Basically, the crew side, that's Sherman. Let's allow the Grenadiers to push up here. Stuk also opening fire. Got a good shot there. That looking good for the Allies. Sherman down. Churchill's taking a while to drive to the front, but then again, it is a Churchill. Those just are not known for their speed. Somehow the Allies managed to take this point. Not sure how. Guess the Irish Guard managed to do some sacrificing for it. Little Panzer IV Aegis is driving around. EC8 coming onto the field shortly. Another Churchill. This is going to be a Churchill Crocodile. This is just normal Churchill at the moment. Ooh, anti-infantry grenades going out there. Churchill having a little bit of a firefight with a Panzer IV. Panzer IV does not want that fight frontally. Double Panzer IV might be able to apply pressure though. In the frontal armor there, proper. Churchill is a hard nut to crack, but one shot did make it through. Ah, they switched it to APCR. Very good. That's a much better chance of penetrating. Churchill definitely needs some repairs after this. One more penetration might actually kill it. That's a back and forth thing there. Oh, the Panzer IV actually got it! Well, that sucks for the British forces. We'll soon have the Churchill in the field, I think. The Crocodile. You see this on the field here. The best version of the Sherman, in my opinion. Very fast, good rate of fire and everything. British infantry's pushing up again. Allies are bleeding points. Ooh, and that Stupa is NS at the moment. Ooh. EC8 pushing up, taking out the Stuk. Lots of people will have to be sacrificed here if the Allies want to make a comeback. They've lost so much already. Western Allies had a pretty good start, I think. The Germans just managed to be able to fight them back. Also proves that you don't need to have the heaviest vehicles as the Germans to win. Just need to have good coordination and tactics. And the Panzer IV is more than often enough a pretty good tank at everything. Very reliable at most situations. Train station is now in German hands with an MD-42 inside it. And the artillery is also just really helping the Germans fight here. One more Panzer force hitting the front line zone. Churchill Crocodiles on the fields. And the British are pushing up with it. Lots of a very big push following behind it. Now the Germans realize there's a Crocodile here. You see this also nearby. The Crocodile will be able to just kill most German infantry with its frontal flamethrower. There's a lot of Panzers nearby though. But the Allies barely have any points left. Oh, good Stukas and Fuss right there. And the Panzer IV takes it out. Oh, I think this might be the end of the Allied forces.
Officers can now be called in to rally our troops.
Yeah, I think this might be the end of them. Allies are still trying though. Scots Guard moved up. You see it holding up here. Panzer Faust going on him though from the folks. Taking out EC8. Not easy to use vehicles in urban environments. Now the Stupa's gonna drive up here. And GG is called. GG and well play going out from the people. And a lot of dead people here. I would agree, it's been a very great game. A lot of action has happened here. And so much action here. Oh, Panzer IV does get taken out there though.
Our Panzer forces have...
Yeah, and at this point they surrender. Good match, I think. Very interesting. And I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye bye.